welcome back to our channel. This is Spilling Tea with Samantha and Dr. B.
That's me.
Today we have a very special episode.
Yes, it is a very special episode because I am furious. I received something in the mail the other day, and at first I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. Like, I'm gonna look at this document that was sent to me. It's gonna be like super fun. Like, maybe there's gonna be some cool information in it. Nope, nothing but sexual misinformation. Now let's put a little bit of a tagline / teaser on this, okay? Because first of all, what I do want to say is I think that religion and spirituality are amazing, wonderful things that help so many people. This is not a anti-religion, anti-spirituality type of video. As well as, like, we could do entire videos on, like, practices such as, like, tantric sex, you know, and those kinds of things, which is the incorporation of spirituality with religion very pointedly. But what I do want to talk about is this.
Make sure you have your tea with you because we ready for some stuff.
Furious, okay? This is filled with nothing but misinformation and misrepresentation of facts. That's all that I can say about it. That's a polite.
Is it like, I hope y'all can read it. Can you read it out?
Well, it says medical monogamous information, sex - God loves it at the top. That's what it says up here. Yeah. And then it like goes through and it's got like hype about like, you know, hey, we're going to give you all this information about hormones and working or talking to your kids about sex. And it specifically has this little sticker on it that says parents' favorite reference. I would like to know which parents are choosing this as their favorite reference for their kids.
Super problematic.
Tested. Okay, so I've read it. I was infuriated. I talked to Samantha about it. What was your initial reaction?
There was a part about like trauma and like sexual harassment and marital rape that really stuck out to me. That made me go, it was very sexist in terms that it really focused on the male experience of life, sex, all that stuff. But it was just like, who wrote this? Like, where are the women? Like, why was female sexuality completely just forgotten in this thing?
Well, it was written by a man, because it says that over and over again. I'm pretty sure it's a gentleman named John Fitchner who holds the copyright for it. And it's from this Walking with Wisdom place. It's a Christian counseling service, which, again, there's nothing wrong with Christian counseling. And there's nothing wrong with Christianity as a whole. It is,
just kidding. Sorry, I just caught myself looking for giving some side eye. Oh, sorry.
Well, drop that tea. But, you know, as you can see, we've marked some spots. I would just like to bring out some and talk about the information that's in here and why it's problematic. Maybe we can have some reactions to it. So on this page, which is the big picture, it's how the book starts off. And it literally, first page of text in here, it talks about the end of times, and a component of the end of times being the worst avalanche of morals in history, especially sexually, across the entire planet.
People have been saying that for millennia. I mean, people have been saying that forever. Like, this isn't new. Next.
Down at the bottom, it says here, highlighted it for reference. Here we go. If you submit to the world's perspective on sex, they have won your soul. You have unknowingly agreed that you are an animal, that morals are things of convenience, and that words like love, trust, and integrity have no place in your life. Thoughts?
This is my problem with Christianity and certain groups of Christians that are not open-minded, is that it's either one way or another. And if you're not on the same team, then boo on you, you're this filthy animal that has nothing and no love and nothing. And I'm like, who are you? This is not even, like, I don't know Jesus that well, but I'm pretty sure Jesus would rise from the grave again and be like, this is wrong.
You know, like, looking at this, it's just, like, really frustrating because there are so many passages in the Bible and in other places, and lots of preachers, pastors, and different versions of Christianity and different, what am I trying to say? Not specialties.
Sex? I don't...
Yeah, sects.
Yeah, sorry.
Sects.
All my words sound the same. I don't...
They all sound like sex.
Whatever.
Sects. And that's where it's like the difference between like Lutheranism and Catholicism.
Look.
All of them. All right, sorry. Not a religious scholar, but I do know and have picked up and taken tons of CEUs, for example, as well as like read a lot in terms of like sexuality in the Bible and its acceptance and whatnot. So I do know that these things are wrong through most of the interpretations. Let's take a look at something else here, which is a problem.
Again, we're sorry if we're offending you. We're trying to come at it as a very non-judgmental way. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm getting like worked up. I'm sorry. I'm like sitting here and like I know it hasn't really come across yet, but this book
really has gotten you heated. Yeah,
it really has.
And we're not trying to like dog on anyone who believes this stuff. It's just it's dangerous when it's parading around as fact.
Yeah.
And the only way. That's what's dangerous.
Which, that first statement that I read is about an interpretation of a Bible passage that is the end of times. That is, an interpretation issue. Yeah. But then we're getting into where they're starting to present facts about puberty, about the way that marriages should run, about sexual activities and sexual expression. And then they try to use pseudoscience, and we'll get there.
Wait, I like that he wrote, can you see this? Boys only.
Boys only. Boys only. Not allowed. This is the whole part where it talks about puberty and when to talk to a young person about sex. Literally only mentions boys and men.
So women don't go through puberty at all.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Don't do it.
Like, first line, medically, a man's sex drive flows through his adrenal gland. Okay, I can get part of that. It does include many other hormones and stuff, but you could talk about that as one component. When a young man first experiences that adrenal rush of puberty flowing over into his genitals, what's an adrenal rush? First of all, okay, we're going to continue on. It is like a volcanic explosion inside of him. It is like 50 cups of highly caffeinated coffee being instantly injected into his body. This season, which can begin as early as 11 years old, is a critical turning point in the direction of his life. Girl, I was masturbating by 11. Like, I already knew shit. I knew what was going on. Like, it happens before 11 o'clock, and it is not like a sudden injection where it's like,
11
boom,
o'clock.
Boom! Did I say 11 o'clock? Whatever, I'm worked out. But it's not like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not an injection. It doesn't suddenly happen. You don't wake up and boom, you're in puberty.
Your switch is flipped, yeah.
Yeah, like that doesn't happen. And it's not 50 cups of highly caffeinated coffee. You die. You die. And I love coffee. You would die. That's all I'm just saying. Don't talk to, and it says the key time to talk to a child is 7 or 8 years old. By age 11, the child has been told thousands of times.
No, you need to do earlier than that. Earlier than that, the moment they're out the womb, you need to start talking about stuff.
Exactly.
In an age-appropriate manner, but you still need to talk about stuff.
And it literally just goes into like, when you're talking about sex, you should only talk to boys. Even with godly guidance, men have a conscience that convicts them as early in the process that it is wrong to use women for their own selfish pleasures. However, it is possible to resist, corrupt, or burn them, blah, blah, blah. Men can remember time.
Oh my god, this goes back to like the Adam and Eve bullshit that was like, Eve ruined it for everyone, so like women ruin it for everyone, and sex is bad because women are sexual creatures.
Atrocious.
I just can't roll my eyes like hard enough.
It just hurts. It hurts. Let's go. I'm gonna go through this, and then we're gonna give some good information. Okay, so we're gonna go through this.
I'm mad too.
Then we're gonna give good info.
This is my mad face, y'all.
Next part is talking about the end goal. It's about couples therapy. Do you want to read this part?
Sure. Which one? The highlighted
stuff.
In almost 40 years of counseling married couples concerning their sex lives, my first and strongest counsel is always for the husband to begin almost every sexual encounter by having his wife lie flat on her stomach with her head at the foot of the bed. I have personally paid for a massage 5 different times so that I could learn the best techniques in serving my wife. I said to the masseur, I am paying for a 1-hour massage, but I'm really here to learn how to take care of my wife.
Yeah, that's a thing. So apparently, if you go to this guy for some couples counseling
but
about
I love
sex,
it ends with, after 30 years, my wife says I'm the best masseur on the planet, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Emoji. Emoji.
You gotta say it out loud. You've got to say it out loud. It ain't true. Bye. Next. You gotta say it out loud.
Super frustrating. How is that? Okay. Okay. Should we okay. First of all, why is it just about the man? Why is the man only initiating sex? Why is it a man and a woman? Why isn't it talking about other things?
Because women aren't sexual creatures and sex is nasty and hard.
Until you get to this part.
Okay. Now we're at the wives restoring their husband's souls. Oh, I didn't know.
Because that's your responsibility.
Oh my God.
You better restore your husband's soul.
Let me be clear, ladies. The Bible says that you own him. So, with charm, firmness, a smile, and seduction in your eye, what does that look like?
I think it looks like this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. From this day forward, you will give me a massage once every... Oh, no, sorry. These ladies are saying this.
This is what they're saying. Say it in your dominatrix voice. If you have one. I don't know if you have one.
But from this day forward, you will give me a massage once every 5 days. This is not a request. I will give you a 2-hour notice that I will be waiting for you, naked, on my belly, on the bed. And you'll give me a 10-minute massage.
Now, I do have to say that if my wife did say that... Yes, exactly. If my wife did say that, I'd be turned on. I'd be turned on.
Once, like a once in a blue moon thing where it's special.
Yeah, like 30 minutes from now, I'm going to be naked in bed. You better get up there and be ready to service me. Okay, sure, that sounds kinky and fun. Like, let's do that.
Sure.
It's like light kink, but like, sure, it sounds great, you know? But like, as a method of preserving and repairing your soul.
And relationship, because that sounds all hell and fucked up.
Yeah, and it's not even taking into account the other issues that are going on in the relationship. Like, what if they can't have sex, like for specific reasons? What about disabilities? What about like if they're having dissatisfaction?
Illnesses,
yeah, like I don't want to have sex with my partner, you know, like in X situation or whatever. And this book is saying that like she's gonna sit here and be like, no, you will be there and you will have sex with me.
It gets a little rapey when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Like it's a little rapey.
Oh, it's terribly rapey. Like the whole thing from start to finish, because it's all about men deciding when to have sex and that their wife will comply. There are passages in this book that say it is almost threw up. So upset. So upset. There are literally passages in there where it says like it is the woman's job to be present, available, and willing to have sex whenever her husband wants to. And that's how you should have a happy, healthy, and successful relationship and life with your husband. And that is her job.
Giving me a headache and making me really tired.
That is her job. Then, at the end of this book, which we've thrown because we're already pissed, at the end of this book, they have a whole section where they pull legitimate real science, like articles from journals.
Did we have that marked? I just thought
no,
we
it's
finished
all right. It's all right.
I was excited by throwing it on the ground.
They pull like real articles from legitimate good places like the Journal of Sex Research, which is a premier journal. It's
but
really
they
great.
skew it.
They skew it.
Whoa. You are so upset that you have
got everything coming.
So what they've done is taken really good, powerful research that tells us so much about life, sexuality, all that stuff, and skewed it so it fits whatever they're trying to say instead of actually what the research says.
And like a lot of the articles that they are talking about is not them having read the actual article. It is that article as interpreted through a mainstream media outlet, and then they read the press release on that and then are using the information. So it says things like, if you have sex before marriage, that you're going to lead less happy, successful lives and all of this.
Sorry. I started like watching you through the viewfinder, and you're like, you're right.
You should. You should.
So I started watching like, yeah, I should have looked at you.
Oh my God.
Sorry, weirdness at home. But that's our feeling. It's just not right. And
it says things like, it even gives you rules in this book, like if you're dating, that you should never be alone together. Ever. If you're dating. Like, ever. Just because you're alone doesn't mean that, like, we're uncontrollable and it's like, oh my God, we're alone. I'm going to fuck you in the ass. No. That is not what that means. It's not giving us any credit as like human beings, and it's like it's lowered everything. It talks about hormones in the correct way. It
So,
talks about the research in the incorrect way.
I wonder if in the end of the day, what our main takeaway is that when you get information like this, always check the sources. Always double check like where they're getting their information from, who they are, what their background is, how that colors the lens of which they're writing.
Yeah. Let's I need to calm down.
We have to wrap up here. We've been here for a minute now.
Have we? Oh my god.
Yeah.
This could be an hour-long video. Buckle up. I'm just kidding. It's not going to be. But so okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath.
Take a breath.
I'm gonna breathe. I'm gonna calm down. I'm going to stop almost vomiting, which I didn't. It was more like it was just like my tongue got caught in my throat and weird sounds are happening. Okay. First of all, yes, I was upset by this book, but the reason why I was upset is not because it came from a Christian place, not because of the passages, because of the sexual myths and misinformation that it is spreading. The way that it interpreted the research findings that are in there were horrible and atrocious. And then on top of that, sending all of these like heteropatriarchal messages into the world is really damaging to people who are growing and developing as human beings.
There's no place for it anymore. We should be beyond that now. There's no place for it.
It's frustrating, and I'm sure, like, I would like to think that the guy who wrote this / the church that put it out are nice people. I'd like to think that. I really would. I'd like to think that they think that they're doing the best thing and really trying to help people. But I don't think that this was an important.
Let's use Jesus as an example. Again, I don't know him very well, but I know that he went around and helped people based on where they were in life. Not what he thought. He was just the example. He met them where they were. This pamphlet doesn't meet a bunch of different people where they are. Maybe it meets a small fraction of people where they are. But that's not why we're therapists. That's not why we're trying to change the world and even having this show. Yeah. We're trying to meet people where they are and make them the best authentic versions of themselves. This book doesn't do that. This book is like, if you do anything outside of this, you're wrong, and there's no need for that anymore. We're beyond that.
And it's really shameful. It's very sex negative and very shaming. Like on the cover, it says "Sex God loves it," but only within specific contexts. And honestly, like if you look at, and I'm sure some of our viewers have probably like really honestly truly read through the Bible. I've read through the Bible, but like I'm not a scholar, like I've read through it and stuff. And there are several passages that you can point out, like in Psalms and some other places, where sex is a really like positive, influential thing that is really great for committed couples. And yeah, they put those caveats in there, like committed couples and doing this and all of that. But it's also not necessarily damning per se, especially in the books and passages and things that are still viewed as relevant to today's society. So that's the thing that I find frustrating is when people it's just really about the sexual misinformation. It just ticks me off.
You feel better getting that off your chest?
It's just, I'm so mad about it. Because like that's like our whole career.
Yeah.
Is fixing.
We spend a bunch of our time fixing and re-educating and all that stuff, but we love it. We love it, and that's something that's like sticking out. This is a mess video. I'm a mess today. Anyway,
it's okay. You're not making weird sounds out of your face hole.
Let us know what you think. Let us know if we got something wrong, if we missed something. If you have any information you want to share with us, you know where to find us. All of that's down there. If you want to submit any questions, I think next time we'll come back with some questions because we have some from some viewers and we'll answer those. And again, find us all over social media and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Bye.